Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Kylie. Welcome to join our this session. It's about accounting, international relations, and also international business. Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm seeing the participants are joining in. Probably we wait like 1 or 2 minutes for everyone to join so that they don't miss out the first few minutes of this session. Yeah. Hi, welcome everyone. Welcome to the session. Yep. So for those who join in, I would like to have a mind check. Can you hear me clearly? If let's say you can, could you please type in the chat box that you can hear me clearly? Like you just say yes, or you can say I can hear you clearly or good and all those. Yeah, so that I know that. Yep. Yes, that's great. That's great. Hi everyone. Thanks for the reply. Yeah, it's good to see some response over here instead of me talking to nobody. So just the camera of my laptop. Yeah. So hi everyone. Hi, welcome to this session. Yep. Yeah, I'm still seeing some people are joining, so probably we wait for another minute for everyone to join. Then we can start the session in a minute time. Hi Fabi. Hi. Hi Kayla. Hi. It's great to hear from every one of you. Yep, that's good. Hi. Hi Inas. Are you from Indonesia or you are from Philippines? Hi. That's good to know. Okay, probably we wait for another 30 seconds. Hi Inas, thank you. Thanks for the reply. Yeah, hope you enjoyed today's session. Okay, let's wait for another 20 seconds. We will go for a countdown and then we will start this session in a bit. Kate Lee, hi. Hi, welcome to this session. Okay, yeah, so if any one of you have any question, feel free to type your question in the Q&A box so that our professor, doctors, and also our students today will be able to address your question. Okay, yeah. So I think 3 seconds has passed. All right, so we will begin this session. All right. Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Kylie. I'm from AECC Global. So welcome to the 7th episode of our Study This or That World Tour series. Our topic for today is going international. So today we'll be talking about programs such as accounting, international relations, and also international business. All right. So for this World Tour series, AECC Global is proudly collaborating with 37 international partners involving more than 90 universities across 4 countries such as Australia, UK, US, Canada, and also these 4 countries. All right. So we will help you to understand the universities you like to study at and also the courses that you will be interested to study at. So we have a total of 21 talks and also 3 workshops. So if let's say you are interested to sign up and also join other talks, feel free to sign up for all the talks. Okay? So we have participants from a few countries today. So I'm from Malaysia. We also saw some of the participants are from Indonesia. Some of them are from Philippines and from Thailand. Hi everyone, welcome to this session. Okay. Before we start this session, if let's say you have any questions you'd like to ask, please feel free to type in the chat box or even in the Q&A session so that later on we will address to your question at the end of the session. Okay. Yeah. So I would also like to share that AECC Global is a university placement agency that specializes in overseas education. So do follow us at our YouTube channel, our Facebook channel, our Instagram channel to find out more about our recent activities or future activities or any courses that you'll be interested to know about. Okay, so for today's session, we'll be covering topics about what are the subjects, accounting, international relations, and also international business. Okay, and also you will also find out does this course suitable to you in terms of is it suits you, is it fits your interest, okay, and also about the study requirement, course structure, along with what are the career pathway if you're taking on this topic. Or sorry, this course. Okay, so over here we have 3 speakers with us in this session. Okay, first of all, I would like to introduce Dr. Justin from Dundee University. He will be sharing with us about accounting. So, Dr. Justin, would you like to introduce yourself to our participants today?
Yeah, how are you all doing? Lovely to see so many of you here, and really nice to meet you all. So, as Kylie said, I'm from the University of Dundee. I actually went through the undergraduate course at Dundee myself back in 2005. And yeah, I feel like an eternal student in the place. So yeah, I've been working there since 2015. I'm involved with teaching a variety of courses at undergraduate level and also postgraduate level as well. I'm the academic admissions officer for accounting and finance. And I'm also the program leader for the MSc Accounting and Finance Masters program as well. So yeah, hopefully I'm able to give you some really good and useful information. And as Kylie said, any questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I'll try and address them. So, but lovely to meet you all. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you so much, Dr. Justin. Secondly, we will have Prof. Bulan with us from Keele University. Prof. Bulan, would you mind to introduce yourself to our participants today?
Thank you. It is very nice to be here with you today. I am Bülent Gökay. I am the Professor of International Relations in Keele University. I have been in Keele University quite a long time, over 20 years. During this time, I was the program director. I was head of school for 5 years. I was acting dean, and also I was the internationalization director of the International Relations and Politics program in Keele University. And as internationalization director, I spent some time in China. As a result of this, we designed a joint program with the university in Beijing Foreign Studies University.
Yeah, that's really good to know. Thank you, Prof. Thirdly, we also have Dr. Irina from De Montfort University. So Dr. Irina, would you mind to introduce yourself to our audience today?
Hello, my name is Irina. I am a program leader for International Business Program, undergraduate program at De Montfort University. And I'm a senior lecturer in international business. So, and I am also research active here. Some interesting points about the program and international business.
Yep, thank you so much, Dr. Irina. Okay, without further ado, let's start the question for this session. Okay, so for Dr. Justin, first of all, we understand that there is a Bachelor of Accountancy, Bachelor of Accountancy with honors, Bachelor of Accountancy and Mathematics. So what is the difference between these three courses that you can share with our audience today?
Yeah, so interesting question. These three programs are all undergraduate programs that we offer. The Bachelor of Accountancy and the Accountancy with Honours effectively are actually the same program. The difference being is that the honours degree has a final honours year. So it's a 4-year program, whereas the straight up Bachelor of Accountancy without honours is a 3-year program. So the first 3 years are essentially the same. Both prepare the students for going into a career as an international accountant. Not just accounting, it's a wide variety of areas. So it could be management accounting, financial accounting, auditing, taxation, information systems, finance, financial management. It's a really broad area that it covers. Now, in terms of the Bachelor of Accountancy with Honours, it's actually a really heavily accredited undergraduate program. So it's a great benefit for students. So we actually offer throughout the programs full exemptions for ACCA, for ICAS, for SEMA, for the Association of International Accountants, and there is also partial accreditation for ICAEW and also a public sector accreditation body, SIPFA. So there's a lot of accreditations that students can get from undertaking that degree. It's slightly different for the version without honours because some of the accreditation, most is obtained in the first 3 years, but there is some that is obtained in the final year. So they still get the accreditation, but it's partial if it's not the honours year. Okay, so It's only like one module that's missing, and I'll show more about the structure a bit later. In the final year, the idea of the honours year is that students then go and explore more of the contemporary issues as opposed to the more technical topics in the earlier years. So it tends to be much more research based. And in the final year, students can really choose the options that they like to take. So you can signal to employers the specific areas that you're interested in. So we have a lot of people that say focus on finance and do things like portfolio management, security analysis. So you can really show to the employer the areas that you're interested in that final honours year. And also, if you were going on to do a master's degree, the honours programme is obviously a higher level. So it's favoured by universities if you're looking to, say, go on and do master's level study following it. In terms of the accounting and maths, again, this is another undergraduate programme. It's not actually something that we run through the School of Business ourselves. It's actually run by the maths department. So the idea of this programme is that it goes through the core mathematical subjects, but it gives some accounting and business skills there as well. So there's a couple of accounting modules like management accounting, financial accounting, and this type of degree is really useful if people are, say, wanting to go into, say, actuarial work, or say work in banking or things like that. Now, because it doesn't focus on all of the accounting modules, it doesn't have the same level of exemptions from the professional bodies. And as you know, when you complete an undergraduate program, if you want to go and work in accounting, it's essential that you are professionally qualified. So there's great benefits to having that accreditation there.
Yep, that's good. Thank you, Dr. Justine. Professor Bulan, I would like to ask is for the major for international relation, could you share with us what does international relation mean so that students could understand this major? And also for this course, is it available under undergraduate or postgraduate, or it's available for both undergraduate and postgraduates?
Thank you. Very good question. First of all, a few words about international relations, what we understand, what we teach. International relations is concerned with relations across boundaries of states. It addresses international political economy, global governance, intercultural relations, national and ethnic identities, foreign policy analysis, development studies, environment, security, diplomacy, terrorism, social movements, and even more. So it's a very multidisciplinary field, and therefore it doesn't restrict students to just one small box, small area. International relations employs a variety of methods such as discourse analysis, statistical analysis, comparative and historical analysis. And also, I think we all are aware of the fact that international relations is becoming increasingly more relevant as we witness the news, as we witness the changes in the world. And therefore, an education in international relations will open the doors for students in commerce, in international institutions, in business, in government departments. So a globalized world we live in requires academics and researchers and professionals who understand, who are trained to understand and analyze these complex interactions between various entities in the world. So in Kiel, we are very proud of the academic standards of our program. And as you know, in England, all programs have been measured in terms of academic standards every year regularly, and major newspapers publish the results. For instance, Guardian newspaper is one of the main newspapers who publish every year the rankings, and Kiel International Relations has been ranked number 3 just after Oxford and Cambridge. And this has been the case for many, many years. I think a long time ago, it was number 1. I remember when I first came to Kiel, it was number 1, but then we lost a number of very significant academics because they retired, but we still keep our top 3 position. So we have undergraduate program, international relations. It can be either a single honor program, exclusively international relations, or it can be done with politics or history. So it's a combined honor program. And also we have a range of master programs under international relations. We have master programs called Master in Diplomatic Studies, Master in Global Security, Masters in European Politics and Culture, Masters in American Policy and Politics. So a range of masters, and every year we are including new areas in our master programs depending on our expanding academic expertise. So students can be considered both undergraduate and master programs.
Yep, that's good to know, Professor Woolen. As for Dr. Irina, could you share with us this specialization about international business? Would this international business, I think some students will get confused. What is the meaning of international business comparing to a business in general degree?
International business is about business activity across borders.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the firm does across the borders or outside the borders of its own home country will be considered international business. So international business is a lot about, it deals with geographical locations of the business activity. For example, where I'm going to expand next, how I'm going to internationalize, what is going to be my strategy, where I'm going to produce the product, where I'm going to assemble my product, how I'm going to adapt the product to that specific local market. Do I need to adapt that product, or maybe the product is global in nature? So that, I think, is the main that is what international business is about.
Yep.
And at De Montfort University, we offer programs on both undergraduate and postgraduate levels that teach international business.
Yep. Thank you, Dr. Irina. For Dr. Justin, could you share with us, if students do take up accounting, what are the course structures like? What will students be exposed to? What are the subjects they will be studying?
Okay, so is this in terms of the undergraduate or the postgraduate?
I think we can focus on the undergraduate.
Yeah, no problem at all. If it's okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a screen, because it's maybe easier to show you the type of things that they actually do. So if you bear with me 1 second.
Yep.
Okay, so can you all see that screen there?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so this is basically the BAC program. So now I mentioned about the accreditation. So you can see that the first 3 years of study, you do 3 modules before. So this is semester 1, and then 3 modules in semester 2. So it's very structured in the first 3 years. And the reason for this is because obviously every one of these modules within levels 1 to 3 follows the professional accreditation. So as such, the content we're teaching you throughout these is really current and up to date in terms of what the professional standards and professional requirements are. So I'll give you an example. You can see in level 1 here, you've got introductory financial accounting. In level 2, we build on that and you get intermediate financial accounting. And then in level 3, you can see that you've then got the advanced financial accounting. So the combination of these 3 modules gives students the exemptions for a variety of professional bodies for financial accounting. And it's the same thing, we can then see the same patterns occurring with like management accounting. And that goes through there. So you've got then introductory, intermediate management accounting here. And then we've got advanced management accounting in level 3. So there's a wide range, and effectively all of these areas are potential areas of employment that students can go into. So you can see we've got financial accounting, information systems. We're developing a lot more information systems actually coming in this year in response to the needs of professional bodies and also employers as well. You've got things like business law, taxation, auditing. So it is very structured in the first 3 years, but it's also really current. And it focuses on things that people going into the workplace need to know today. Because as I say, all of these go through very strict accreditation processes every year. When we come into level 4, you can see that we've then got a wide range of modules here, like accounting and accountability. You've got things like the business project, portfolio management, security analysis. So within these modules, this is where we kind of focus a lot more on the more, say, theoretical issues. And, you know, a lot of this will be based on what staff are actually researching at the time. So there's less accreditation here, but it focuses more on the contemporary issues. So it really gives students that kind of feel for all these contemporary things that are happening, and also sets them up for going on and doing a dissertation as well. So it covers a really broad range, and it's really difficult to say this is what you'll go into, because there's so many different things that you can do from undertaking the BAC program. So hopefully that answers your question there.
Yeah, yep, it does. On top of that, may I know if, let's say, students are doing this program, how many papers that students are expecting to exempted from ACCA? Because ACCA would be the major accreditation in Malaysia.
Yeah, so for ACCA, I mean, it used to be the foundation modules. They've changed it round recently. So it's now applied knowledge and applied skill papers. But for ACCA, by completing the BAC, if you do the honours year, you would get exemptions from all of the applied skills and all of the applied knowledge papers. So basically, you'd only be left with the strategic, professional papers, which tend to be when students then go in and get a graduate post, they would then do those as part of graduate employment. But we do have more, I mean, we do have other programs. So we have a new program that's being released this year, which is called an EMAC Integrated Masters. Now that's slightly different. It focuses on accountancy again, but this is a 3-year program and actually allows students in 3 years to get an undergraduate degree, a master's degree, and also get preparation for 2 of the strategic papers within the ACCA professional level. So that also includes the strategic business leader and the strategic business reporting for ACCA. But we don't cover the exams for that. It's just the preparation, the exams. But it is a completely different course. The requirements are different in terms of entry, and it's very intensive because obviously in 3 years, you're effectively doing what we offer in the undergraduate plus master's level. So it's slightly different, but yeah, effectively with the BAC, you get the exemptions from applied skills and applied knowledge. And in the honours year, you also do subjects like integrated reporting and things like that, which would be unique to also these strategic professional papers as well. So although we don't cover them, you get a lot of knowledge that will help you prepare for them when you go on in your future employment. So
yep, sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Justine. For Professor Bulan, may I know, why do you think, just now you shared about the ranking of skilled universities for international relations, it's very well known for this major. May I know, is there any support system, or is there any facilities, or would there be any industrial partners that KIL universities to provide to students who are taking up this major?
But if you are asking in terms of work experience, I think there isn't any official work experience links in terms of students automatically go and have work experience. But we arrange a wide range of work experience related links, and we encourage and we help our students to get these experiences. Because I think KIL International Relations is being a pioneering center for a long time. It is one of the first universities in the UK started international relations degree. And because of this, we have a large number of former students who are now working in important places. Like we have diplomats, we have ministers, we have head of the international corporations, business communities, and various think tanks, and through which I remember we arrange every year some of our students, depending on their level of achievement and also their interest, we arrange them to go and get work experience at the United Nations or in any other international organizations, or some NGOs like Amnesty International or Human Rights Watch, or even in the official bodies. So I think these kind of things are not very difficult, but because we are not this is not a business studies program, we are quite different from that, and our students interest where to go after their degree is quite wide range. So that's why we don't have any official like avenues the students automatically go when they are doing Kiel international degree. But over years, I witnessed personally every year some of my students, we arrange certain places to go and do either during the summertime or even during the semester time to go and get some experience in one of those bodies.
Yep, thank you so much.
And for instance, United Nations is being one of the key places, and the reason for this, one of my former colleagues who is retired just a few years ago, Professor Patrick Thornberry. Professor Patrick Thornberry also has been the director of Minority Rights Committee in the United Nations for a very long time. So we have, again, Kiel colleagues who are connected to Human Rights Watch, and we have Kiel colleagues who always attend various ministerial positions and meetings. In Chatham House, for instance, Royal Institute of International Affairs in London, we always have close links with places like that. So because of this, we even sometimes help students from other universities to go and get experience in these bodies.
Yep, thank you so much, Professor. For Dr. Irina, I understand that for the Masters of International Business, there is a few combinations. Yeah, may I know which, I mean, if let's say I'm a student, what combination would be most suitable for students and best fit them?
We have on postgraduate program, which is MSc in MSc International Business, and we have 5 pathways. Those are international business and entrepreneurship, international business and finance, international business and human resource management, international business and management, and international business and marketing. The structure of the program is the following. By the way, you can start either in January or in September.
Yep.
And the structure is the following. In the October to January, all students study the same module. So for all pathways, they are the same. In January to May, they study more specialist modules, and they can choose those modules to really tailor the program to their own needs for their own development. And in semester 3, there is either a dissertation, which is May to September. There is either a dissertation that students can do or business research project. Well, business research project is a very interesting one, but it's available only on international business and entrepreneurship and international business and management pathway. With this specific research project, students work with a local company, usually from Leicester. This company has a problem or a matter that they want the student to help with, and that becomes the research project for a student. In terms of how to choose, I think what is important is for you to decide which element of international business you would like to do when you graduate. For example, if you're interested in looking after global employment and how you manage people in organization like multinational enterprise, then maybe international business and human resource management is a path for you. If you're more interested in finance aspect, then international business and finance. If you're interested in more organizational element, how you manage the whole organization, then international business and management. So it's really up to you. It's really about what are those things that you like to do? What are those things that you're interested to do? That's how I would answer the question.
All right, thank you. For Dr. Justin, I would like to ask, because currently when students finish their accounting degree, employability, it's a keyword that people will be talking about, employability. So may I know why students should choose Dundee to do their accounting degree, and how it helps in terms of their employability?
Yeah, okay, I mean, actually, we have, so I suppose just a bit of a background there. We've got, recently this year, we moved up to the top 7 for accounting and finance in the UK by the Good University Guide, and that comes from a few things. particularly within accounting and finance, our employability rate is really high. It's 95%. And I mean, obviously you teach a lot of the students going through. I know, speaking to a lot of our fourth years, every single fourth year who wanted to get into a graduate position did at the end of the undergraduate degree last year. There was one or two that went on to do postgraduate programs. But yeah, I mean, it was basically all of the fourth years got a job. So we have 95% employability. And I think that is partly down to the fact that we've got this really heavy accreditation within the course, because it's a great benefit to employers, you know, so they know that they don't have to put the students through so many of the qualifications once they actually get a graduate role. And more often than not, you know, it's really just those final professional level qualifications that they go through. So I suppose combined with that, we've also got really good NSS ratings. So in the area of accounting and finance, we're up at, say, 92 overall. So I think all of those things kind of really sort of sell the University of Dundee, combined with the accreditation as well. I mean, there's a lot more things I could talk about in terms of other unique selling points. You know, we try to expose students a lot to roles they will be undertaking. So within most of the modules, and I can give you an example of several of mine, we have industry guest speakers coming in. So, for example, I teach a lot of tax modules, and we've got tax professionals coming in from local businesses. I even had the Chief Executive of Revenue Scotland come in and speak, because obviously there's been a lot of developments in Scottish tax recently. So we try to expose students to the type of things that they will be doing. So the idea being is it gives them an idea of the things they want to do. So they've got a focus when they come to the end of university. We also have a dedicated careers and employer engagement officer for the School of Business. And these guys are really helpful, because not only, I mean, I was useless at doing a CV, you know, I'm not what I'm very good at, if I'm being honest. So, but that's what these guys are there for. They help students with, you know, how is the CV constructed? You know, what should they be focusing on? How do they outline their skills? And through the employer engagement officer, again, it's not just about making sure we've got guest speakers, but, you know, it can be helping with set up, say, internships for students and things like that, going from level 3 to level 4. And, you know, there's a lot of things that we have there that help students achieve that employability. And I think that's why we have such high ratings for employability.
Yep, thank you so much, Dr. Justin. Today over here, we will also have Daryl with us. Daryl is a current student from Keele University. Hi, Daryl. I have a few questions for you. Would you mind to share with everyone, the audience today, how's your journey to Keele Universities and why you choose Keele University?
So first, regarding why I chose Keele University, well, basically I was given a few choices of university when I went to the agent, and looking at the few universities, I thought Keele had the best study environment, because it has one of the largest campuses in the UK in terms of university campus. So it's quite quiet, which is conducive for studying, but at the same time, quite near to the town centre as well. And the train station's just a 30-minute bus ride away, and you get access to Manchester, Birmingham on the train within an hour. So that's great as well. And so basically I got into the International Study Centre at Keele for my international year 1, and then proceeded for my second and third year degree at Keele University. And then I chose to continue my master's at Keele University, which is what I'm currently doing now. And yeah.
Yep, that's good to know. I'd like to ask Daryl, as an international student, does the universities actually do support you in terms of academically, or in terms of your when you have problems, or any like support systems?
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, Keele University has like an international student support office that will assist you in things. For example, when you're applying for your visa, they'll provide you with guidance. And I think you can also be, there will also be buddies that will help you in terms of settling in, answering your questions about, for example, how to get to the local supermarket, etc. And of course, there's the student union, which also has services to help international students. And in terms of language support, the language school at Keele University also offers extra English courses for students who might want to improve their English, or who might not have that good of a grasp of English when it comes to studying in the UK. Yeah.
Yep, thank you so much, Daryl. I'll pass this question to Dr. Irina. So for De Montfort University, St. Jude offers this master's courses. May I know, could students opt for an extra year internship, or could they do their internship opportunity during their masters, or is there any opportunity for work in terms of that?
In terms of our undergraduate program, for example, international business, we do have an opportunity for students to go on to the placement year. So after the second year, students are encouraged to do a year in industry placement, and after that they come back to study their final year. From my experience, for example, last year I had a student who was accepted on 2 internships, one with Samsung, another with Renault. So, well, they had to choose one, because you cannot do 2 at the same time. But this year, for example, I know that my students successfully got internships in companies like SAP, and also some local companies in Leicester. So there is a lot of opportunities. I think the main thing is that you need to be proactive, and we have an amazing support service. BAL Career Services, BAL Faculty of Business and Law, where the program sits. And the university overall this year we won an award for Best University Careers and Employability Services. So there is a lot of support. In terms of postgraduate program, I think that the closest you can get to this internship is the business research project, because students study for a year. So the whole year is occupied with active studying. And I would encourage students to look for opportunities to engage with maybe local companies, or if they would like to really get on board with that project, then to choose pathway that allows them to do that.
Yep, that's good to know, Dr. Irina. Back to Dr. Justin. Yeah. In terms of career, I think students may have a misconception that after finishing an accounting degree, I would just be an accountant or an auditor. Is it go beyond that? I think that would be a misconception about that. Probably you can answer to these questions about in terms of their career, in terms of their career progression. Where can they go? Can they go beyond accounting?
Yeah, so I mean, I think I mentioned this at the start. It does seem to be that way. You know, a lot of people sort of think, oh, I'm doing accountancy, therefore I must be an accountant. No, I mean, as you saw from the table that I showed, that kind of showed, you know, the breakdown, so many different areas that you can go into. Like, if I wasn't an academic, my area would be tax, despite the fact that I actually graduated in finance with my PhD. So I think it gives you such a broad perspective. You know, like I say, you can have people going into areas of management accounting, financial accounting, auditing, taxation. I mentioned that we're starting to develop areas of information systems. So you could even have people maybe going and getting jobs in those sort of areas as well. And I mean, I suppose accounting itself, it's so much more than just accounting. You know, people sort of think accounting, you know, you think of the traditional management accountant, you think of somebody that sits in a room and just crunches numbers all day. It's not really like that these days. You know, management accountants, for example, are much more business advisory these days. They really get involved with what happens in the business. So there's not just misconceptions about the accounting, I'd say it's probably misconceptions about what accountants do. And as I mentioned already, we have such a wide range of accreditation. You know, you can come out of the honours degree under the BAC and you can be, you know, you can get all the, well, not all, but the top level exemptions from CIMA, from ACCA, from ICAS, you know, and that then really opens up a lot of scope for you to go and work in a variety of areas. You know, could be finance, you know, banking, investment banking, and not just in terms of being able to go to a career straight after finishing university or going to get a graduate role, but it also opens up the opportunity for you to go and do further postgraduate study. I mean, sort of drawing on a point that Irina mentioned there as well, it is very much about how you apply yourself while you're at university as well. You know, we can kind of give you all the opportunities and all these, you can get all these education, but it's about what you kind of do outside of that as well. And this is why we've sort of worked quite hard to put in these dedicated careers officer. You get a dedicated advisor of studies right the way through, who gets to know you on a personal level. And, you know, it's taking advantage of, say, these industry workshops that we set up, you know, going to speak to the, say, the careers officer. How can I enhance my CV? How can I get a role in, say, one of the societies? Because we've got, I mean, anybody within the University of Dundee can set up a society. You just need a number of people, be anything, you know. So, but having some sort of, say, role, administration role or lead role in one of these societies, it can enhance your CV. Now, we try to encourage people as much as possible to do that, you know, because that is really vital. It sets yourself apart from other students. And I would say that no matter where you go into, whether it's accounting or international business or wherever you go to study, it's really important to make sure that you focus on that extracurricular as well as just academic work. And we try to encourage you as much as possible to do that, you know. But certainly, I've deviated slightly. There are lots of different areas you can go into. It's not just accounting.
Yep, students do take note from Dr. Justin, all right? Yeah, it's not just about limiting to accounting. It's also based on your interests and then where do you see yourself in the next few years so that you could explore your opportunity after an accounting degree. As for Professor Bullen, can you share with us a bachelor degree in international relations? How long does the duration? And for masters, how long is the duration? And can you also share with us what is the entry requirement for both undergraduate and postgraduate degree?
Of course.
Yep.
I think international relations degree takes 3 years, which is 6 semesters, because our year organized over 2 semesters. And the students has to accumulate every year 90 credits and overall 270 credits from the modules they have been doing. And which means at the moment, majority of our modules are 15 credit modules. So which means in each semester doing 3 modules. So overall in a year, they do 6 modules, but in the final year, they also do dissertation, which is a 30 module, 30 credit module. So therefore in the final year, they do 1 less module just to make the 270. And the modules organized in such a way that there are some compulsory elements, but there are from year 1 up to year 3, increasingly more optional elements. Again, to allow our students to specialize in whichever sub-dimension of international relations. As I mentioned, international relations is a very multidisciplinary field, and students, some of them specialize in political economy because they would like to go to the field of business, or some of them specialize in security, some of them specialize in cultural studies or human rights or gender studies. So because of this, they do from year 1 to year 3, they do some compulsory elements, but in year 3, almost everything is optional. So we offer them a long list of modules covering all these different varieties of international relations, and then they choose themselves what to study, because at that point, also with the help of their personal tutor and the university's other experts, the students are encouraged to specialize in one area or the other. So this is the undergraduate system, and in order to enter undergraduate system, the home students, of course, they applied and their A-level results are important, and we normally accept B, and C. But the equivalent of this in the International Baccalaureate is it is being calculated every year, and the equivalent of 2 Bs and 1 C normally corresponds to a certain number in the International Baccalaureate. And in terms of the English language levels, they need to get IELTS result, band 6.0 with no component score below 5.5, or if they have a TOEFL examination, a score of 79 or above, or if they have some other acceptable examinations. Again, the university's application system can calculate and transfer them to each other. So in our university's website, everything is very clearly explained to them. And again, for some of the students, because of the international relations discipline itself, sometimes attracts students with huge experience, but not required academic qualifications. Someone, for instance, working in the field of, I don't know, international organizations or international business for some years, but didn't have any A-levels or didn't have any international baccalaureate results, which can be calculated. And in that case, we offer them an interview. So one expert from the department has a one-to-one interview, either face-to-face or online with the student, and then on the basis of the interview, we decide whether we accept that student or not. So there are so many different ways of being accepted to our undergraduate program. And again, as Daryl mentioned, even for those students whose first language is not English, even if they pass these IELTS or TOEFL results, when they come to Kiel, we want them to come a little bit early to Kiel University, earlier than other students. And then our language center offers them an exam, a test, just to decide their level. And if they decide that they need a little bit more support, our language center offers them extra English language classes in their academic discipline while they are studying their normal subjects. So again, English language side is quite strongly supported by Kiel University's Language Center. In terms of masters, as I said, we have a wide range of pathways in the masters, from diplomatic studies to American politics and policy. And every year, depending on the expertise of our staff, we sometimes add new additional dimensions to master programs. And in order to be accepted to master programs, we normally accept a 2-1 degree from a university undergraduate, a relevant program, a relevant social science program. It doesn't need to be international relations or politics. It can be any other social sciences like economics, management studies, sociology, criminology, English language and literature. So any of those programs can be considered relevant to our master programs. Again, if the students fulfill this criteria, we accept them and they decide which master program they would like to do. If they don't fulfill the criteria, but if they think they have other qualifications like experience or extra languages, then we can interview them as in the undergraduate program. And sometimes we actually accept students with those extra qualifications. Is there anything else on it? Okay.
Yeah, I think I've covered most of it in terms of undergraduate and postgraduate. And then for students having different type of qualification, like in Malaysia, you do have foundation, diploma, or in different countries like Indonesia or Philippines, you do have your high school qualification or your bachelor's degree qualification. You can reach out to us, AECC. We can help you with the checking on the entry requirements, that your score meets the 2-1 that mentioned by Professor Bullen, or the A-levels qualification, qualification or IB qualification, so we can help you with that. So you can contact us in terms of entry requirements. All right. Yeah. So for Dr. Irina, for international business, I think because accountancy is pretty straightforward. It's like let's say accounting is their first choice, but in terms of your experience, in terms of graduates, where do they end up after doing an international business degree or a master's?
Well, in terms of international business undergraduate degree, there is a variety of opportunities for students. We have students who become business development manager or consultants, or they went to do the further studies. In terms of master's degree, there are a couple of recent examples. One of our graduates is now a talent acquisition leader at Amazon. We also have a graduate who is now in logistics management in Toyota. So there is a lot of opportunities, but I think that those opportunities are about actually going there and doing your best to grab those opportunities, to be visible and to make sure that you connect with those employers where you want to work, and that you use our employability services and DMU Works in order to help yourself and get the best out of educational opportunities.
Thank you so much. I think the questions that I have prepared has been fully asked. Next, we will answer to the questions that our audience here has pinning down for us. All right, let's go to the Q&A session, because I come across there's some difficult questions. Some will need extra explanation from either one of the speaker. Okay, probably for the first question from Nigantara, I can address this to Daryl. I think this is more suitable for you. This person's question is, if let's say he or she is an international student for undergraduate and wants to study business in the UK, do you think it's difficult for he or she to adapt?
In terms of adaptation, I think most important thing is to, have a good grasp of English, because everything is conducted in English here. So you must improve your English in order to be able to understand what the lecturers or the professors are teaching about. But at the same time, the lecturers and the professors, they're always happy to help you. You can always pop them an email saying, I've got some parts that I don't really understand. Could you please explain more? And like I said before, if you need more English support, the university can always provide that for you as well. So I don't think it will be too hard to adapt when studying in the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's not too difficult to adapt. Probably there will be some differences in terms of the first time difference and some things that you need to adapt. I think in overall you'll get used to it after some times living in UK. Okay, let's move on to the next question from Aisha. This is for Professor Bulan. Do you think that being a bilingual is an advantage for international relations? If yes, can you suggest some languages that are commonly spoken among people in the major or at United Nations itself?
Yes, it's a very important question and very good question, and which kind of connected to what something I have been doing, advising to my students for a number of years. I mean, as I kept telling you that our world is changing very fast, and it's becoming more and more interconnected, and most of the organizations, businesses are transnational currently, and therefore I think being bilingual or even triple lingual is so important, probably more important even than having a second degree. I mean, every year when my students are graduating from their IR degree or their master degree, some of them come and ask me, okay, what can I do next in order to increase my chances? I want to work in the field of international relations, international organizations, or business. I say, well, one of the most important thing is, and maybe the most important thing is, to be able to speak, to understand another language. And then, of course, as you mentioned, they ask me, which languages? Well, I think, every language, every additional language is important, of course, because a language opens us in new doors, new avenues, new cultures, new understanding. But if you look at what's happening in the world for the last 20, 30 years, probably the most significant languages. If I rank them, these are the most significant languages. The language spoken in China, the main language, and then the main language spoken in India. So these two Asian languages, as well as Spanish, Portuguese, and Russian. I think these 5 languages I will put above any other European languages. I mean, they are, in terms of finding more opportunities in this current world, 21st century, these, the language from China, India, Spanish, Portuguese, and Russian, these come above French, German, or Italian.
Yep, thank you so much. Yeah, I think this has answered to your questions. Next, it would be a student from Indonesia. I think this will be addressing to Dr. Justin. If she has completed her bachelor degree and working as an auditor at an accounting firm, would you think that getting a CPA or CA certification would be better? Would it add values to her portfolio?
So in terms of, so she's graduated from an undergraduate and is now working in an organization. So
Yeah.
I think certainly in terms of obtaining a professional qualification, absolutely. Because as well, I mean, don't forget, once you've achieved the professional qualification with an accredited accounting body or similar, that's then extremely transferable. So it then allows you to go and move, maybe not move areas, but you can move into different roles within different organizations. So, I mean, absolutely, I would say that's something that is, that would be quite important within that area,
Yep.
I suppose, I know, just to sort of say, I know we haven't spoken a lot about the postgraduate programs at the university have done. The main focus has been on the undergraduate. But I suppose just it's in answer to that question, really. We've got a variety of postgraduate courses. We have one in particular, which is the MSc Accountancy. And that is actually a specific program that's designed for people who have, say, got their undergraduate degree, they've gone on and they have a professional qualification. So it allows them entry with a professional qualification to top up the professional qualification and also get a master's level qualification as well, and that's a 1-year program. So that's one of several. I know we haven't really gone into them, but just to sort of highlight there, if you do have a professional level qualification, that's something you can come and join us to do if you wanted to get that master's level at the same time as well,
Yep. Thank you so much, Dr. Justin. Next question would be for Dr. Irina. This student is currently majoring in international business, and he would like to know, is there any tips that you could share to make his undergraduate degree more useful and valuable? What about, would you encourage him to do a master's degree? Yeah.
I think to answer the first part of the question
yes.
Join a society where you can present your ideas and articulate them, learn how to articulate your ideas, something like that. Join LinkedIn if you're not there yet. Find people you would like to follow in international business. Connect with them. Try to find local employers through your university. Ask your career support at the university where you studied to help you with that. In terms of the second question, which is about master's degree, think about what do you want to do, whether you have a particular industry in mind that maybe you would like to explore further. I can see that there was a question about international trade. I think international trade will go perfectly if it's a master's degree on top of the undergraduate degree in international business. Think about economics if you're interested in international trade, but also think about things or maybe functions of the business that you would like to explore further, deeper, and maybe explore opportunities in those areas.
Yep. Okay, that's great. Yeah. The next question would be for Dr. Justin. The students, if he wants to take accounting in UK, particularly University of Dundee, must he take maths higher level? I think this is referring to the International Baccalaureate qualification.
Sorry, could you repeat the question? Apologies.
Yeah, for accounting degree, I think he is referring to IB. Would he require to take maths higher level, or the standard level is equal? It's as a prerequisite to enter into the undergraduate degree?
Okay, no. So we don't, for the undergraduate program, we don't specifically require maths. What we do is we say, in particular for accounting, it's recommended. And obviously we do, like I said, the first 3 years are pretty technical. So you're doing, financial accounting, management accounting. So having a mathematical ability would certainly be an advantage. And we do sort of recommend it, but it's not a specific requirement to gain entry. You don't have to have a specific degree in maths or a specific level in maths. But I mean, certainly it's something that is recommended. But not essentially required.
Yep. So Hugo, I think this you can take note of this. Yeah, mathematics is not required. Okay, next we will come to this question. There is 4 sections. Yeah. So first of all, okay, I think this could be for Dr. Irina. What are the advantages and challenges that entrepreneurs who run international business have to face?
Well, I think the advantage is that you're running your own business. And the disadvantage, well, it's not disadvantage, but if you think about running your own business locally, there's a lot of challenges that you would need to overcome. If you do it on the international level, there will be multiple international level challenges, and sometimes you would have to operate within conflicting environments. So that is in itself a challenge, but I think that there is also a great reward. And when we see those companies rising from startups to become multinational enterprises, with how many things that they actually have achieved and things that they've done right in order to be where they are. So I think it's a challenge and reward at the same time.
Yeah, yep, that's great. Secondly, the second part of this question is the exchange of knowledge in certain fields such as cybersecurity or finance is included in international business?
I think, well, if we talk about the programs that we talked about, for example, MSc International Business and Finance, then you are, of course, learning finance and international business. In terms of cybersecurity, we do not offer any specific international business with cybersecurity, but cybersecurity is, of course, a critical area to explore, and I think that it should be part of further studies or self-exploration if that's where you want to go for your future profession. I would also add that there is a lot of elements in international business that we might not yet know about. There are emerging trends and emerging themes, and this is going to be a part of the lifelong learning in ever-changing world, I would say.
Yep, thank you so much, Dr. Irina. The next component will be addressing to Dr. Justin. I think by understanding this question, it will be asking about what students need to focus and also what would make these students stand out in terms of all the accounting graduates. Among all the graduates, like what are the traits or anything that stands out that these students can take note?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question, and I know that Dr. Irina addressed some of these points earlier. And I think the key thing here is about being proactive. You know, there's so many opportunities that we have at the University of Dundee where you can enhance your CV. And I always say to students, I mean, this is something that's vital. When you come into the university, I think networking is really important, and we've got a lot of welcoming events that kind of get you to network with your fellow students. And for me, that's the first step in enhancing, starting to build your CV. You need to feel comfortable in where you're studying. So we have a big focus on that when you come in to try to get you integrated. Once you've got to that stage, it's using the people that you've networked with and trying to build relations with them and joining say, societies or clubs, or looking to get relevant work experience, you know, getting involved. I mean, I do a lot of admissions events, and I've got various students that volunteer to come and speak about their experiences, and all of that adds to your CV. And I think that's the key. I always give an example of, say, two students that both graduate with the first class. How would an employer choose between them? And it is quite difficult, and people will these days, I mentioned earlier about that whole changing role of the management accountant and how it's much more of a business advisory process these days. And, you know, if you've got somebody that can sit and crunch numbers, fantastic. But people want to know that you're able to communicate, articulate your ideas, you know, engage with people, be thrown into a group work situation, and which is maybe out of your comfort zone, but adapt to that. And so I think it is just that word being proactive is really vital there. And it's about trying to take the opportunities that are there, enhance your CV through extracurricular activity, and get used to putting yourself in a position where, you know, some people get really nervous about giving presentations. I was one of those people. I remember the first time I ever taught a class, I got put in front of like 60 people. And I was like, oh God, you know, this was the first time I'd really given a presentation. And I think there's so many opportunities these days to put yourself in that position early on. And that's what I would recommend. You know, try to get involved with things, join clubs, join societies, attend careers fairs. You know, the more knowledge that you're able to obtain about any decision in life, the easier that decision is going to be. You know, so if you go through university and focus only on studying, you'll get to the end of it and you may not know what you want to do. You may know what you enjoy. You may think, oh, I really enjoy accounting, but there's so many different roles in accounting. You know, do you want to go into auditing? Do you want to go into tax? These type of things. So I think it's really important to try to make sure you enhance your CV as much as possible. And of course, academically, it's really important, you know, but there are other things now. It's not just about you know, academic achievements. It's about expanding your whole profile. And like I said, there's a lot of things that we have that encourage and allow students to do that. But unfortunately, we can't force students to get involved with these things. You know, we can only sort of encourage them to. And so I think just being active in that area is really important.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Justin, for answering this question. The last part of this student's question would be probably for Professor Bulan. Do you agree that practical is an important element that helps new graduates a lot in the world of career?
You mean practice?
Yes, practice or practical
Yes.
experience. Yeah.
Yes, I think in my field, even in my field, I mean, yes, of course, in business studies, accounting, yes, it is important, but even in my field, international relations, it is becoming increasingly more important because students need to adapt their knowledge, need to learn how to adapt, how to use that knowledge in the world in terms of understanding, analyzing, and helping the international business, international relations, diplomacy, and therefore, in order to be well suited to the employment in this rapidly changing world, they need some practical experience. And this practical experience comes from, as I said, we have a wide range of links with various institutions, organizations, not only in the UK, but in Europe and globally as well. But also we help them to get experience from wherever they are spending their summer times. Again, I think, as I mentioned to you, if you look at the Kiel University's website, in the international relations section, you can see a range of our alumni people. They are now doing amazing work in all over the world. So we put all these alumni people in touch with our current students, and they help them to get extra experience, but also to help them in terms of finding jobs. And plus, maybe one thing additional to this, especially in international relations field, we have a Model United Nations team, Kiel Model United Nations team, and other similar extracurriculum activities. For instance, this Model United Nations team organize annual meetings and competitions every year in different places. And Kiel has a really strong tradition in getting a number of awards in this competition. And this puts our students in the mind of a United Nations official. So they spend several days in a close environment with the other teams, and they were given an international crisis or international problem, and they try to solve this problem as if they were representing various countries in this competition. I think this is probably one of the most significant aspects of studying international relations. Even before they graduate, they try to understand, they try to put themselves in the position of the actual policy practitioner. Yes, I mean, my short answer is yes, of course, it is very important to have some practice in the field of international relations.
Yeah, that's good to know. I think it also covers some parts of the question that is asked by Aisha over here, because Aisha marked down that she would like to know, do international relations related to political issues as well, or as well, or it's just limit to political issues, or just it could be more than that.
Well, I think, as I mentioned earlier, it is, of course, it's much bigger than that. I think today, international relations, when you say international relations, it involves international political economy. It involves global governance. It involves intercultural relations, national ethnic identities, foreign policy analysis, development studies, environmental studies, security, diplomacy, terrorism, social movements, and even more, even something about social media, the meaning of social media. So some of our students, for instance, in their final year dissertation, they choose more and more now in the current time, choose topics related to impact of social media. Impact of social media in terms of international governance, international security, ethnic relations. So as I said, I think it's a very wide range of topics can be included in the field of international relations. And as we move into the mid of 21st century, I'm sure we will include more and more topics. For instance, one of the key topics we teach now in Kiel University in the third year of international relations, it is called Missing Dimension, Intelligence, Security, and Espionage in International Relations. And more students are now studying computer, internet crime, hacking, and all those kind of conspiracies, which is directly related to business as well as global governance. So international relations is always in a kind of a change. I am sure in 10 years' time, if we have this meeting, I will cite at least 10 extra topics in the context of international relations.
Yeah. Indeed. Yeah, I think Aisha, the second part of your question, Professor Bullen has actually addressed to it about some of the position or work that is related to IR. And also for Catherine, for your question is about what kind of jobs that can be probably pursued in the future under IR major. Professor Bullen has covered quite a number of professions that you can work into. Like, for example, like he mentioned, you can go into social media. Some of them works as a ministry, diplomat. So it's actually a lot of career that you can look into, right? Yeah. One last question, it will be from Idina. Probably this question could address to Justin maybe. Yeah, so for UK universities, especially accounting degree, students with diploma qualification from Malaysia, could they continue into a degree after doing a diploma?
Okay, so in terms of it would really depend on the level. What we have is through the website. If you go to, I actually wrote this down so that I wouldn't get. You can go to www.dundee.ac.uk, and then it's /undergraduate. It's maybe easier for me to put /accountancy-BAC-honours. Now, the reason I say that is because it depends on the level that particular diploma is at. Generally speaking, the answer would be for an undergraduate degree, yes. So when I actually joined the University of Dundee, I I'd done the diploma myself. And I was possibly able to go into the second year. Now, that was because of the modules that I'd actually taken. So I mentioned about the accreditation. In many cases, it can be difficult for students to enter the second year of the degree, because by doing so, they miss out on some of those first year modules which meet the accreditation requirements. It's normally looked at on a case-by-case basis, is what I'm trying to say, depending on what particular modules that have been taken. So generally speaking, yes, for a diploma, we would say that yes, that would gain entry. Whether it would gain entry to level 1 or level 2 would be the question. But again, it would depend on the UK equivalent of that specific diploma. So this is why I pointed out this particular website there, because what you're able to actually do is you can actually go through the website and you can put in where you have actually studied, and it gives you the equivalent qualification that you need to have to gain entry to the program. So I don't unfortunately know what level the specific diploma is geared up at. Do you see what I mean? So, but what I would say is you can have a look at the website. I mean, in actual fact, if you go to dundee.ac.uk, you can actually type into the search bar BAC, BACC, and it will bring it up. And through there, you can go to entry requirements, and there's a specific search bar. But like I say, generally speaking, yes, diplomas would allow entry, but it wouldn't necessarily be to level 2. Some people would sort of think, oh, well, I've done like a higher national diploma, therefore can I get into level 2 of the course? It's not always the case because of the accreditation requirements. So what I would say, I mean, I had the option to go to level 2. I chose to go to level 1, not just for the accreditation, but it was obviously I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss anything, you know. So it's really a case-by-case thing, but if you have a look at the website, that gives more information about particular areas, you know?
Yep, thank you, Dr. Justin. Yeah.
I could put that address in the chat if you want. Would you Would you like me to put that in the chat?
Yep, that would be great. Yeah, so that Idina
I'll add that into the chat there.
Yep. Yep, that would be great, Idina. Dr. Justin will be sharing the link with you. And also, if you have other questions about diploma, you can reach out to us. Okay, you can scan a QR code over here. So once you scan this QR code, you're able to reach out to our different officers' site to be able to have a consultation with us or inquire further about diploma qualification, how they're being assessed by universities and all those. Okay. Apart from that, there's also some good news that I would like to share with the audience today. I will be sharing my screen at the moment. All right. Can you see my screen at the moment? Okay. So for this, from what Professor Bullen has mentioned, that English would be one of the key component, and Daryl also mentioned that English is one of the key components. So over here, we have this. We would like to introduce that PTE test is also an alternative English proficiency test that students can take apart from IELTS, where you can also. Sorry, I couldn't. Give me a moment. There's some technical issue over here. I can't move to the next slide. Yeah. Hi everyone. Would you be able to see the next slide that I have over here? Dr. Justin, would you be able to see that I'm showing my screen? It's about a PTE.
I could see it, but it seems to have disappeared now.
Oh, okay. Just let me connect it back. All right. Yeah. Would you be able to see my screen at the moment? Yeah.
Yes,
I can see it now. Yeah.
Okay, that's really good. Yeah. So for PTE is an English proficiency test that is fast and also fair to all students, where it is supported by AI. So the test is very secure. Okay. Apart from that, this PTE test is also recognized by 99% of the UK universities. So if let's say you do take this PTE test, yeah, it is recognized by most of the universities in the UK. Okay, next. I'm sorry, I think there is also some technical difficulties that I'm facing at the moment. Yeah. Okay, probably I'll do it like this. Yeah. Sorry everyone to put you on hold over here. Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about PTE. It's a fast and fair test. Okay. then it is recognized by 99% of the universities in the UK, I mentioned over here. All right. So even you're applying for scholarship, PTE, it also can be used to apply for scholarship. So over here, we would like to share that there's a free test sample for students who attended our session today. So you can scan this QR code, take a moment to scan this QR code. You will get a free test, and also if you completed the free test, you also get a 10% discount on a PTE app that you want to attend any classes or any session. Okay, so for students who are attending from Indonesia, good news for you. So if let's say you have already enrolled successfully via AECC Global, you'll get a cashback of 6 million rupiah. Okay, so for those students who actually attending from Thailand, you will also have this, we have this special rebate for students where you'll be entitled a Thai baht of 2,000 rebate for 10 students. All right. So after this session, there will be a pop-up of a feedback form. So students who attended and answered the question of the feedback form, one lucky winner will be chosen after this session, so that it's appreciated that you can share it with us, your feedback, so that we can improve ourselves. Is this topic, is it suitable for you? Or you can share with us your comment and all those. So one lucky winner will be entitled, if you're from Singapore, you will be entitled a Singapore dollar $30 Grab voucher, and for Malaysia you stand a chance to win 80 ringgit Grab voucher. Okay, so that's all for today. All right, so if you have any questions, whichever country you are from, you can scan this QR code over here. Okay, on this QR code you're able to contact us, our officers from Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and even Thailand. Okay, so feel free to contact us if you have any inquiries, or you would like to speak to us, or would like us to arrange a separate session with either one of the speakers today. We can do so as well. Okay, so that's all for today. All right, thank you so much. I think everyone has learned quite a lot about this major from our three speakers over here today that covers the topic about accounting, international relation, and also international business. All right, so for our upcoming session will be it's also related to business. However, it's more related to retail and supply chain, finance, and also other majors, but focusing on for Australia universities. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Justin. Thank you, Professor Bullen. Thank you, Dr. Irina, for your time. I know it's pretty early in the UK at the moment. Thank you so much for waking up earlier and have this session with us. And for students, feel free to join our Facebook, our IG, our YouTube channel, and also thank you, Daryl, over here. Daryl is also from Keele Universities, and he's a current student that is joining this session to share about his experience. And thank you so much, Daryl, for your time. All right, so if there's any questions, feel free to let us know and contact us. And thank you so much once again for everyone and attending this session. All right, thanks everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for the time.
Thank
Goodbye.
you.
Have a pleasant
Very much,
evening.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you.